How's it going, guys and gals? This is Advanced Warrior here, and welcome back to another Advanced Wars by Web replay. I almost said replay commentary, but it's more like a replay review. See, the situation of this video, I'm just gonna say it right now. My opponent resigned only on turn 9, and obviously that isn't going to be a very good video. Not very fun to watch, very disappointing ending. So I just thought I'd make it a little bit more interesting and have some friends of mine critique how I played this map and how I could have maybe done better. So let's go ahead and introduce first, whoever is in the order. Go7.
Hey everyone, I'm Go7, King of the Penguins, and the #1 rated player in Advanced Wars by Web.
Still
and
to
owner
this day.
of birds.
Owner of birds. And underneath the voice chat box that's right above me, we have Hawke, aka Kantbei.
Hey everyone, it's Kantbei here. I'm primarily known for pioneering really stupid openings in Fog and making them work. But I have some experience in like making stupid openings in Standard work too. Gonna have to spread our roots.
Definitely, it's I kind of like the theory crafter and trying to see what could throw your opponent off. I have. I'm trying to do something else here. I'm sorry. So I have these two gentlemen here. I've been talking with them for a very good while. Good friends with them, and honestly, I let them see my games and be like, you did this right, you did this wrong. I'm willing to take that criticism in hopes to get better. So, like I said, this game ended very prematurely, but I was hoping to get something out of it by having these two guys here, breaking down the game, such as CO selection, capture phase, unit builds, and maybe some things that my opponent could have done, but I just really wanted to get the picture of what this game could have possibly have been. Alright, so, are you two ready?
I'm ready.
Alright.
Yep, ready.
If you guys hear that little bit of echo, it's because Kantbei's headphones are charging, so he's unfortunately unable to use it. But yeah, the map here is called From Wharf to Wilds. It is a 2-base map, a light-based map. You got airports for each player, and the ports, which, you know, maybe I can't really see a whole lot of use for that port, just for that nice little extra income. And we have like rivers and pipe seams, as well as forests that do seem to take up a good part of this map. The middle is like very open with the shoals, so I can like maybe see like each side just gets like 2 of these properties, and then like maybe fighting for the sides. So for both of you, let's start with Go. How does this map usually play out?
So when I play this map, I put a lot of pressure on their airport corner, usually with an early recon to go down there, unless I see them reacting to that before the recon gets bought, like they're sending more infantry or anything like that. Then I'll back off, and then there's lots of infantry pressure above the airport on the little city that's kind of being held by some mountains.
Yeah.
And then
here,
lots
sure.
of that one, and then lots of infantry fighting and vehicle fighting in the middle.
Okay. Alright, what about you, Kantbei?
Yeah. Bo said there's a lot of fighting against like the enemy airport as well as like defending your airport. If they try to like counter pressure, right? I don't think I've ever gone for like a recon opening here. I usually go for like tank into like fast beacopter or like beacopter first, and I even delay like vehicle builds here very frequently in the opening phase. I would say like the center, generally speaking, isn't contestable unless like your opponent misplaced the opening somehow, and then it's very contestable. But generally, like I don't focus my efforts in the center. If my opponent like commits a lot in the center, I just let them have it, right, and then I just go kill both corners and I win the game that way.
Okay, yeah, it makes sense considering that there's like forward bases for each side, like Green Earth here, it's going for the it's like a little closer to the enemy airport, vice versa with the what army is this? I keep forgetting. It's not Acid Rain, I know that.
It's the Teal Galaxy.
Yeah, I think it's Teal
Yeah.
Galaxy. Alright, so yeah, it's Heard it from them. So CO selection. Now I do feel like there is some things that might be said about this. So for me, I chose Javier. Javier's day-to-day is that he has a plus 20% defense against indirects, as well as comm towers giving him an additional 10% off defense as well, unlike just 10% for every other CO. The reason I picked Javier on this map is because, like I said, I saw all these mountains, I saw these pipe seams and rivers, and I kind of thought I would have some ideas with playing with indirects, so my opponent would be less likely to use them himself because I'd get like plus 30% off of indirects from my opponent. His power is, I believe, Tower Shield, and then it's Tower of Power. Oh, no, did we cut off?
I have no idea what they're called.
I think it's Tower Shield, Tower Power. Whatever, it'll be on the screen. The power basically doubles the effectiveness of his day-to-day. The super triples it. I usually see that the power is used a lot more because you're getting 30% offense and defense with just the comm tower alone, because you get that extra plus 10% offense and defense, which makes your units like plus 130, which is pretty good. Now, how do you guys feel about my CO choice on this map? I feel like Von Bolt's probably going to be mentioned here.
Yeah, I mean, I think Javier is a fine pick because your comm tower is incredibly safe. You're probably going to lose the game before they can get your comm tower. And it is possible to get some pretty good artillery play with all of these mountains, and the middle's a little congested, so there could be some artillery play that you can kind of make your artillery to pressure your opponent, and then they can't effectively counter you with their own. But you are going to be just weaker in straight-up brawls than Von Bolt, who will be able to get a lot of early game advantages over his plus 10% firepower over you.
Okay. Alright, Kantbei?
Yeah, pretty much agree with what he said, right? Like, Von Bolt is like usually the safe pick. I think Javier does have ideas, but I wouldn't say like artillery play sees a lot of action in this map, mostly because like the games I play, the game's usually over before like turn 20, right? For artillery play to really work here, you need to like really stall out the game and like, a really high unit count, because in the early game, like if you go artillery, I think you instantly lose because like air will just murder you. Tanks will also just murder you because you can't cover anything, right? So like there's like some late game artillery ideas here, but it's kind of like banking on you surviving to get to that base first. Hawke I would never pick here. I think it's just too small. Saka maybe has ideas, but the map's kind of congested. I don't like about that one.
Okay. Oh yeah, we never got to talk about Hawke. Let's try to make this brief. Hawke just has plus 10% offense. And with the comm tower, he gets plus 20, which means that he can get 2-hit KOs on cities, say like infantry on infantry, or 2 tanks on a tank on the city. His power, 5 stars, Black Wave, 1 HP to all allies, minus 1 HP to all enemies, and for 9 stars is Super, Black Storm, 2 HP for all allies, minus 2 HP for all enemies. I do agree that although as much as I love Hawke, the map is a little bit small for Hawke's powers to really matter as much. Let's start with you, Kantbei. You just said like this map's like too small for Hawke. You wouldn't pick Hawke here.
Yeah, it's not just like the map's too small, right? But also like the income is too low, I think. Okay. And like there's a lot of like cities that can be targeted for pressure, right? Like I think there are 8 cities here which can be flipped, right? Maybe 10 if you include like the center cities, like the side center cities, right? Which can be easily flipped. So like it's very easy for like Hawke to just get run over in the day-to-day before his powers are ever relevant. And like if your opponent has like 20% more income than Hawke, then they can actually just stall Hawke out. They don't necessarily lose anymore late game, because like yes, you take away 20% of their army like every time you click your button, but they also have 20% more value because like they just have more income, right? So like can Hawke actually hold on to like enough cities? To me, like I think no with correct play.
All right. So, Go, thoughts on Hawke on this map?
I also don't think Hawke is very good. The 10% attack bonus is going to be counteracted by the defense bonus that both Javier and Von Bolt gets. So day-to-day wise at tier 1, he's definitely lacking, and you're only on 2 bases, so even when it's going to take a long time for one to get your powers up and running, but even once they are up and running, it's not like there's going to be that many units that you're going to be hitting.
All right.
Where and if you're up against Sasha, you're going to get out vehicled because even on like 2 base 1 airport for Sasha, she'll be able to afford the she'll be able to afford the battlecopter as well as the vehicle and infantry much faster than you would be able to, and she'll be able to out pressure you.
Yeah, I play against a Sasha main, so I know how that feels. All right, so let's get on with the builds and the movements. Feel free to criticize me if you guys see anything wrong from like maybe either of us. Probably more for me. So just simple infantry builds. And one thing I do want to point out, you don't want to get the comm tower too early. The comm tower, you want to get it when you're about to start a fight. Like, sure, it's the only property that you can immediately capture from the base, but it doesn't give you any income. So it's definitely something you want to try to figure out when you want to capture the comm tower, because getting it too early, that plus 10% offense isn't going to do anything to you. Alright, so looks like I'm sending
This is already a mistake.
Oh, God dang. Alright, let's see here. What do we got?
So your first infantry from like the backwards base, right, should be on your HQ always.
Okay.
And then like that first infantry, so like that maximizes your capturing options, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the real trick here is because you actually want that first infantry to go for the airport immediately. You don't want any of these immediate turn 2 captures. You want the airport, because the airport chains into the port and then to 2 more cities, and potentially like 5th city, although in practice like you're probably not gonna get that many like chains off, because like they'll have tanks there by that time, right? But minimum you get 3 cities, possibly 4 cities, right?
Okay.
And like that's way more economically efficient than going for like an immediate capture, right? Also because like it's such a high pressure area, getting these captures early on is always good, because like the longer you delay it, the more possible it is for your opponent to make sure you never get any of this, and then you're down income the whole game.
Okay, I see.
Exactly. You want to go for the airport corner really fast, because even though it looks like those properties up in the corner look fairly safe, they are actually incredibly contested. So you want to go for them before your opponent can really pressure you, and then you're up. So really both of your infantry movements are not that great, because you also want to be starting to exert pressure down in their corner, so you want to send your infantry in the other side. Sending it to the middle at this point's not going to be that great.
Okay, I see. This is why I have you guys.
I agree with Go. Like usually I'd send like the first infantry on the right side for you towards like the city, kind of like on the road. But I don't completely hate this idea of like going for the center cap immediately and then potentially like pressuring both their center capture, like if they don't back it up with the tank quickly, as well as like potentially like pressuring the mountain, right? Like if after you capture the city in the center, you can sit on the silo tile, and then you have pressure on like 2 cities, and like you're threatening capture on like 1, right? So like if they don't get their airport fast, you potentially like take that city, right? And they're like they don't really want to treat infantry here because like they're gonna have so few infantry here. But like I think with correct opening, this is probably refuted. But again, like that relies on them knowing the opening, right?
Okay. All right. Sure thing. Yeah. For context, this was like a high 700 standard rating. I lost my first standard game, so I'm like, yeah. All right. So let's see what my opponent does. Looks like they're going for the center as well. Another infantry on the HQ. Alright. So, day 3 recon. Oof. I know I'm gonna hear a lot from this.
I mean, I'm a fan of the day 3 recon, but I'd want it from the other city or the other base.
That's fair. That's fair. My idea was to like have an infantry here and then just send one to like maybe go back here and then start capturing these cities in the pipe seam corner.
Those ones, the ones back there are incredibly safe, so you can kind of take them whenever you want. So there's no rush.
That's fair. Kantbei, anything to add?
Yeah, like Go said, like if you're gonna get a recon here, you want the recon on the other base because again, like you're looking to use the recon to exert pressure, right? Like the recon isn't a defensive unit; it's an offensive unit. So like it has to be on the side where you can actually create pressure. From this base, like not only is it slow to get to like the front, but they also like get a tank in that area pretty quickly. You can't really contest anything, right? So like, what does the recon do? Like go to the center, they answer with tank. Like it's all probably like easily refuted.
Okay.
I don't think I'm a fan of like the recon opening, but then again, like I haven't seen it work really that well, because like I've never seen anyone play it, and this is like the first time I'm hearing Go say like he plays it, right? So like at high level, I've never seen it done. So maybe it does have ideas. I'm not too sure about it.
Okay. Yeah, my initial plan was to bring the recon and like pressure the center, but yeah, I understand it now. My opponent can answer with a tank, and that tank will start harassing my recon. Alright, so they just went with infantry for their turn 3.
And just a quick note: for the point of the recon is that it forces your opponent to counter it with a tank, and you what you want to do is have their tank in a place that does not bother you anymore, and then they're investing 7,000 to just stare at your 4,000, and then you can like use that economic advantage, even if you don't delay that much, to win like the center, because they're going to be having 3,000 less money, less value invested in that fight. So the recon goes on the side. It forces a tank to be built and then go off into the corner. Goes down to capture him.
Alright, so yeah, like I said, I go for very safe cities, even though you said I could take this at like any time.
Yeah. Usually on that side you move down so that you can threaten the mountain city by standing on one of the by being in range to stand on one of the mountains and hit the city.
I think I end up like losing both of them. Yeah, right
Like
here.
what he's doing on the other side, yeah.
Yeah, you can see like both of them right here. Alright, so yeah, now I'm going for my comm tower because I kind of figured I'd like maybe get some hits off like in some turns. But yeah, I'm
Yay!
take a hit even though I don't get any comm tower bonuses.
That was an unlucky roll.
Oh really? That was an unlucky roll.
Yeah, you got knocked down to 9.
Oh yeah. Well, it's Hawke, so maybe it's a little likely that I get knocked down to 9. Alright, so now my opponent's going for their comm tower. Is this like? Do you agree with this? Like
Doing it now?
doesn't have anything better to do.
I'd
does
probably
it?
do it next turn. I don't
Okay.
think it really matters when you're dealing with a recon. You can get another infantry out there. You might be wanting to build like a tank there, in which case, do it now.
Okay. Yeah. So starting to lose hold of that. Both of the mountain cities actually, and he blocks me off. So yeah, that's it doesn't show it now, but yeah, I'm in definitely put myself in a predicament here, and they built a tank on their forward base. So yeah, definitely looking at this now, I really feel like I should have never gone recon, especially from the back base, because I can maybe hit this infantry, but this infantry already captured that property. So now I go for the airport.
Wow, you put 2 infantry back there.
Yeah, because I figured I had one that could like capture this one, and then I already have this one further up, and this could get to this like maybe a turn or 2 sooner. I do try to interrupt this cap though, but yeah, probably gonna lose.
It's not
that
a great
infantry. Okay.
Yeah.
So
you were-
this is kind of why, like I said, you should have parked the infantry on the silo tile. Because if it was on the silo tile, you can harass from the mountain. There's no counter hit. You also get like 150 defense with your tower up like this turn, which you get pretty fast. And then like that turns this intro from bad to like really good, right? So the positioning is important.
Right. And I built a tank in the back. I see now, because I want like infantry to like start putting a little bit of pressure here, perhaps.
It's fine to put it. Oh, go ahead.
I would also say like the infantry from like your back base should have gone immediately to like the left side like this turn, because like you only have like one infantry in charge of like 4 captures. Like if I see that, the moment I see that, I just send like an infantry forward and break every capture to like hit your infantry, right? Because like if I do even like 1 damage to your infantry, I delay you by 4,000 or 5,000, right? So like it's instant value even if I lose the infantry.
Right. Yeah, I can see it now. Like considering there's an infantry here, this is very close to that chain, and it could be interrupted. I see it now. So yeah, I lose. No, I don't lose the infantry. But what can the infantry even do at this point? So now they send their tank forward, and now it's staring at my recon. They built another tank. Yeah, this recon ain't doing anything. I was hoping to like do some damage down here, but this tank is probably just gonna follow. Yeah.
It's like okay to stand on the forest and hit the capping infantry.
Okay.
Well, not the forest. You probably have to go in the shoal and the plains, but because the whole point you built that recon was to like delay his economy. So if the recon living isn't going to matter that much. So if you like hit his capping infantry and then bring your other infantry forward while also bringing tanks forward, you can at least use it to contest that city.
Okay.
You could also have considered like hitting the infantry which just finished the capture on like the mountainside, because like you're gonna bring your tank to the left side anyway, and then like your tank covers the recon, so if they hit with their tank, then you probably counter hit with a tank and win the trade. I don't think like the second tank is able to cover in time.
Alright. So I go over that property, pull my infantry back, finally begin capturing the airport.
It looks like your opponent had either watched like a replay, if you're saying this is like a high 700s match, either watched a replay of another player or they have experience on that map.
Okay. I kind of forgot what their rating was.
I mean, they haven't built a missile yet, which is already like better than most 700 games.
What the heck?
Wow!
What?
Wow!
That happens?
I've seen it happen so many times. Like they'll just rush a missile as a copter. I don't know. I think they don't know like missiles are slow or something.
I see. Oh, so I just I just noticed I got like 3 hits over here now, do I?
Yeah.
A bit surprised to like see that a tank went to the. Now I can kind of see it now, because they probably want to contest a tank versus a tank. I don't. Maybe they didn't see much from this recon, but these tanks are not protecting the infantry on the side here. So maybe I will get some free shots on my opponents, unless they like build a Balacopter next turn. Now I think this was another mistake. Yeah, this was a miscalculation by me. I thought the tank was in range, but I was poorly misjudged it. And the fact that my opponent could,
It's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah, honestly, it's fine because like you're Javier, so like you have 140 defense. So even if he takes that hit from like a plane, it trades evenly. You're not actually down that much tank HP.
Remember, he's Hawke though. Remember, he's Hawke. Just saying.
Yeah, even as Hawke, like he doesn't actually trade all that well. Like even I think Max does not even trade all that well if he gets first hit and you're like on a silo tile as Javier or even Von Ball.
Okay.
So I think this is fine for you. Maybe like you don't want to trade tank HP, like that's a different conversation. But as like a pure trade wise, this is not losing for you at all. This is like even.
Okay. All right. That feels a little better to hear. Yeah, so it looks like I'm now starting to get some free hits here. I don't really know at this point what I would do with a 1 HP infantry. Any ideas, fellas?
It would stand in those choke points and be a body blocker.
Yeah, that's definitely one thing. Alright, so immediately they built that battle copter. I have a friend that tells me that that in Fog it's a bad habit to build your units first and then play your turn because you don't get to see what you will eventually need. But since it's standard, that doesn't apply as much anymore, does it?
Yeah, it's still a bad habit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it still kind of applies because like you never know, like maybe you see something that only works if you have like a certain unit backing it up. In this particular case, I think like it doesn't really end up mattering because like Copter is just like an easy build here, like regardless of whatever else he does on the left side, it doesn't really affect it. Which is why I think like you should have gone immediate like AA the last turn, because it's kind of just like very telegraphed. The reason I say that is because he has 12k income, which means like it's perfectly enough for like Copter and like he has 1k extra, right? Also like he committed no tanks on the right side, and like he sees you have no AA, right? So like it's kind of like just like the easy immediate response, right? So I'm not sure like what else could have been better.
Okay.
On the upside, battle copters are not super great against recons. They're just good.
Okay. What about battlecopters on this map? Really good?
Battle copters are very good.
Yeah,
All those mountains.
I knew
All those
that.
mountains.
All those mountains, pipe seams, rivers. Yeah, I knew that at least. But
as a rule of thumb, like any map where artillery looks good and like naval looks good, air is even better. Almost always.
Yeah.
Poor naval units.
Yeah.
They get nothing. There's just looks like it's just skipped to my turn. Wait, hold on. What just happened? Let me go back for a bit. So right now it's his turn. Oh. They just built a battlecopter and ended their turn.
Well, they also initiated 2 captures to be fair, and like moved their infantry a little on the left side. But yeah,
Okay.
this seems like a
Maybe.
Probably timed out.
Maybe.
Was it a live game?
No, it was not like this is Global League. Never mind. It's like the typical couple days a turn Global League game.
Probably timed out.
Maybe. So I can kind of see why. Yeah, like I said, my opponent ended up resigning turn 9. Well, my thing just crashed.
Well, perfect timing.
Perfect timing. It just crashed right then and there. Let me see if I can pull it back up. But yeah. I do want to ask you guys the question here. I've made a number of mistakes on this map, definitely, right?
Yeah. Most of it was in the early game.
Okay, yeah, it's like I didn't capture these properties. Like my opponent's already here, so that's a little bit scary. Recon didn't really get to do a whole lot. At least you guys are. He's not the best choice, but at least you guys weren't as harsh on me with the Javier pick as I thought you guys would have been.
I think it's a fine pick.
Okay, yeah. So fair. Definitely. I still have a lot to learn. Obviously, based off this game. Definitely gonna need to do my research on openings by looking at other replays. Learn how to use my recon a little bit better, and like in like that one situation where you said I probably could have interrupted the cap, and the tank hitting it wouldn't have mattered so much. I think one of you guys said that.
Yeah. It's more, I guess, advanced tempo plays where you're like, I'll let you hit my recon so that I can hit your tank first, kind of stuff.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, like I said, hold on, wait. Do you have any final comments, either of you guys?
I think it was actually played rather well if it's in like the 700 range. And it's very difficult to play a map for the first time.
Okay. Kantbei?
Yeah, I agree. Like, for the most part, it was played pretty well. Like, if you're going in blind, like, have no idea about the opening, and like, you didn't do any like map reading prep for the map. Like intuitively, it feels like the center is strong until you realize like there's actually not much you can eat like after the cities are all capped off. 'Cause, like everything is like within like one tank move, I think.
All right. Yeah, I think I played on this once. Just like, just casually did like a tier 2 game. I picked Sammy. My opponent went Max. It did not go well.
There's a base light. Yeah.
It's space light, yeah. And considering that, considering that I also tried to wall against a Max too when they had their power. That's not good. Yeah, that was
very not.
yeah, it's not good. It's just my only experience on this map was that I just played it casually once, and I saw someone like do a replay commentary on it, and I just kind of just use what I know right now, even though I'm like I believe at the time like 0 and 1 in standard, but I am at least glad that I was able to have this kind of video with you guys. Like I said, it's not really meant for entertainment. It's not a good match because it ended so early. I just wanted to learn from this, even if it was a game like this. So I am thankful for you guys to have the time to do this kind of video with me.
No problem.
All right, guys, all right.
No worries, man.
What was that?
No worries, man.
All right, yeah, it's a really great, guys. So where can they find you? Go.
You can find me at the when you open up Advanced Wars by Web, and you like scroll down a little. It will show the top 5 players. The one that has the little number 1 by its name, that's me. If you hit the Global League button, the one that has the like blue and yellow and white and metal.
Oh my god.
That's me. I also have a YouTube.
That's what I was hoping you'd say. YouTube. I'll leave a link in the description below. I don't believe Kantbei has a YouTube. You could just find him on Advanced Wars by Web, like somewhere up the leaderboards, as well as sometimes on Discord. I don't know how active you are, but I've definitely seen you on the Discord server. But guys and gals, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy this kind of video, if I ever get another situation like this, I definitely would try to. That is if you guys enjoy it. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm definitely going to try to have more normal, in quotation marks, normal replay commentaries where we have actually finished matches and we could see the mistakes that might have cost the player or any good moves that would have helped the player out. But when the time comes, definitely check it out. Subscribe to know when those come out. Guys and gals, I am Advanced Warrior.
I'm Go7.
I'm Kantbei.
And you all have our warmest regards. Please take care. Ciao, ciao.